We're giving you a history lesson for Native American Heritage Month. We want to give you guys a little bit of a history lesson. We're doing that with celebrity historian Raffi Andonian. Welcome back to the show.
Hey, thank you. Grateful to be here.
Yes, so tomorrow is Thanksgiving. For many Americans, we are looking forward to the turkey, the ham, all the fixes. We just want to get full, right? But for many Native Americans, it is a reminder of the millions of indigenous people that were slaughtered and the stolen land. So I do want to refer it back to you. You're a historian. What is the importance of knowing our history?
Well, history is how everything around you is the way that it is, not just in geography and politics and society, but even your very belief systems. Beliefs change over time, and so history is how and why we are where we are.
Very important, right?
Yeah.
So I do want to continue to give you guys a little bit of a history lesson. And for those of you who may not know, we can find some Native American history right in our wallets if you still carry around loose change.
That's right. And here is, for Native American Heritage Month, we have Mary Kawena Pukui. She is an indigenous Hawaiian. And she was alive from the 1890s to the 1980s, and is part of the $1 coins program, Native American $1 gold coin program that the U.S. Mint has, every year honoring a different Native American person. So on the head side throughout the years is Sacagawea, but on the tail side this year in 2025 for this year's feature is Mary Kawena Pukui, Native Hawaiian, who is known for her work in preserving Hawaiian culture. You see, she was born in 1895, and she was actually the daughter of, on her mom's side, priestesses and chiefs from Hawaii, and on her father's side, she was actually descended from Massachusetts, an Anglo guy who was a descendant of colonial governors. So she was able to kind of merge those two cultures. She grew up in a traditional Hawaiian household with a grandmother, which was traditional for the maternal grandmother to raise someone in Hawaii until age 9 when the grandmother died. And that's also her childhood is when Hawaii became part of the U.S. And that was a critical point because her having both sides of parents, she was able to navigate between cultures and do things like translate Hawaiian and English back and forth, contributing to a key dictionary, talk to museums and anthropologists. To this day, anthropology in Hawaii is influenced by her. She learned the religion, the history, speaking of importance of history, from her grandmother, and the language, the humanities, if you will, from her grandmother, and was able to translate that back and forth for people to learn, including indigenous folks in Hawaii, because when American influence came, that culture started to decline. So people like her were able to capture it, preserve it, capture the oral history, and be able to not only communicate it back to Anglos, but to actually communicate it back to Native Hawaiians who had their culture eroding over a period of time.
Wow.
Believe it or not, she was actually, I'll add this piece too, speaking of wow, she was also in the Hall of Fame, Music Hall of Fame in Hawaii. So she's a musician too. What? So, that really is wow. She's not just like knowing language and history, but music and dance, the hula dance, which is very important in the form of storytelling in Hawaii. That is a form of conveying stories. So she was mastering all of these different pieces. That's why she's still a resource to this day. Now, she's passed away in the 1980s, but her work continues to remain as a resource for both indigenous Hawaiians as well as anthropologists and researchers. She worked for a museum. She worked for the Army Corps of Engineers. She contributed all over the place.
My goodness. She has definitely made her way onto this coin.
That's right.
There is no other is no other way that I can think of a deserving way. Putting her on a coin, that is awesome.
That's right.
How can we get these?
So you can search for them in the wild, as I call it, which is to go out and, exchange money and see, look in your pockets, right, find them. Or you can actually go to the Mint, usmint.gov, and actually order them. There are $1 coins. You could use them. It's actual currency. Remember, money is where nations honor their heroes. So to your point earlier, the value of having someone like her recognized on our money is very important. If I could just say real quick on the image, too, it speaks to the culture that she helped preserve. If you look at her attire, where she's wearing her shirt, what's around her neck is a kukui nut. That is what's represented around her neck that she's wearing as a necklace. The hibiscus flower in her hair, these are cultural representations. The flower that you see in the front is a kukui flower, and it represents the Hawaiian state tree, and the inscription means go to the source. She was known as a source. That's why it's so important, so you can have the history right in your pocket.
There we go. Make sure that you guys look for those coins if you want to celebrate Native American Heritage Month. Raffi, thank you so much.
Thank you.